Surveillance video captures the panic when shots were fired during an armed robbery at a popular Beverly Hills restaurant. The bold crime is one of several recent incidents that now have authorities on alert. News Nation correspondent Nancy Liu live in California tonight with this story.
And Rob, it's enough for police to call it a disturbing trend. So far this year, there have been 18 armed robberies in which victims were actually shot and 2 cases were fatal. Criminals are targeting people for all kinds of valuables, from phones to French Bulldogs to high-end watches. In a brazen case just yesterday, late lunch diners ran for their lives as bullets flew at the famed Il Pastel restaurant in Beverly Hills. Police say 3 young men in hoodies targeted a diner who was wearing a very expensive watch, said to be a Richard Mille model valued at around $400,000.
So the motive was robbery. There was a watch that was taken from one of the victims. It was a very high-end watch that is also playing into our investigation.
The victim and his friends fought back, and then there was gunfire. A 33-year-old woman suffered a graze wound, and police are still searching for the robbers. They're also investigating this case from last month. A 26-year-old man was shot in the arm after being ambushed as he left a jewelry store in downtown L.A. Surveillance video captured the scuffle, and the victim is seen tossing what appears to be the gunman's weapon. Up to 4 suspects drove off in a Chrysler 300. Meantime, police are searching for these suspects who assaulted and robbed a man of a Rolex watch on January 30th. The scene was not far from a high-profile robbery just last week. Lady Gaga's dog walker was shot multiple times, and 2 of the singer's French Bulldogs were stolen last Wednesday. Ryan Fisher is recovering, and the Bulldogs have since been found, but not the robbers.
The pendulum has now shifted into the more affluent areas when we look in relation to what happened to Lady Gaga's dog walker and recently what happened in Beverly Hills.
Crime analyst Darren Porcher says the pandemic has robbers more desperate, and they're likely more brazen due to so many unsolved cases.
This should not be an easy crime. However, unfortunately, we have criminals that are functioning with an air of impunity. That being said, the social context and how criminals perceive their ability to commit crime has somewhat escalated.
Authorities say heightened awareness is key. Multiple armed robberies have involved victims being followed from stores or restaurants and then being held up at gunpoint in isolated areas. Live in LA County, Nancy Liu, News Nation.